All right, 17 million Americans are obsessed with shopping, so much so many can't control their urges to spend.
This destructive behavior carries a price, from damaging relationships with friends or family to going bankrupt. In our materialistic society, shopping is encouraged. But at what point does a passion for shopping turn into a much bigger problem? Fox 17's Kim Hessel talks to an admitted shopaholic in our special report, Urge to Splurge.
For many Americans, shopping is a chore, the time to pick up things you need or occasionally something you really want. But for a growing number of people, shopping is much more. It's an obsession.
I usually got what I wanted. What girl doesn't need giraffe pants?
Dana Manettos is one of 17 million Americans with an addiction to shopping, a shopaholic.
I would read a magazine, and I would see it in a magazine, and I would know in my mind, I'm the only one of my friends who's going to have this. And I would justify that is why I can buy a $300 pair of sandals.
Dana, a stay-at-home mom, would hit the malls, stores, and specialty shops several times a week.
Jewelry, diamonds, vacations, luxury vehicles, Louis Vuitton belts, Louis Vuitton purses. I started with the Coach purses. I worked my way up. Fur coats. I lived in Atlanta. We had 2 fur coats. Who needs that? It's ridiculous. You name it, I'd buy it.
She started accumulating more and more things and more debt.
My husband would say, we've got to do something about the spending, and I would keep on spending. I always had the Visa, and I always did what I want, and I'd say, no, you need to find a way to pay it.
But his paycheck wasn't always enough to make the payments.
I would run up the card, $25,000, and he'd find a way to pay it off with a second loan, a mortgage, or a bonus, something.
This out-of-control spending lasted several years. Dana's addiction to shopping even made her a local celebrity.
There was an ad campaign going on in 2004. Do you know anyone who loves to shop at Stein Mart? And the store manager from 2 different Stein Marts, came up to me and said, would you like to audition for our television commercial? You're here all the time and you love it. How cute is this? $39.99. I love this. I love this store.
Needless to say, she landed the role.
If there's a sale going on top of that.
I loved my identity as a shopaholic. That was big for me.
That is my kind of sale.
Dr. Vatsil Thacker is a psychiatrist at Vanderbilt University who's writing a book on addiction.
Recently, people have come to a conclusion that shopping itself can become a compulsive activity similar to an addiction.
But in many cases, the act of shopping or just accumulating items is a quick fix for a much deeper problem.
Still a lie.
People go shopping maybe to relieve some of the suffering or sadness of depression. It could be the hyperactivity of mania, of bipolar disorder.
For Dana Manettos, shopping was a temporary cure for her depression.
And I just bought stuff because it made me feel good. I bought stuff because that is how I define myself socially. And I had to do a lot of growing after I realized what was going on, and I had to deal with the guilt about what I had done. I had to be real honest about why I was doing it.
For Dana and millions of others like her, shopping was a temporary cure that could have led to financial disaster. Kim Hessel, Fox 17 News.
But Dana was able to pay off her mounting debt and change her way of spending, but it took 2 years. Tomorrow night, we'll tell you what to look out for if you suspect someone you know has a problem with shopping. Well, most of us love to shop, but for many of you, shopping is an obsession.
Well, if your spending puts you in a financial bind, you may be a shopaholic. You get a rush when you buy something and you don't even wear it or use it. Well, this addiction can lead to financial ruin and is the #1 reason couples get divorced. Fox 17's Kim Hessel has more on the problem and a solution in our special report, Urge to Splurge.
And then we'll gently work our way past petites, through the lingerie, activewear, shoes, accessories, and checkout.
From the outside, Dana Manettos appears to have it together. Nice home, married with 2 small boys. But she suffered from an embarrassing addiction.
The spending habits were the sky is the limit. It was so important for me to have more than my friends had. It was so important for me to be the person on top. I wanted it to look like we had an endless supply of money. So whatever I want, I bought.
Dana admits she was a shopaholic.
It wasn't just small items. Sometimes it was clothes for sure. We bought a luxury car that was much more extravagant than we ever needed. I'm loving this.
Dana's spending got out of control. She would even hide what she bought from her husband.
I would hide my bags in the garage in a bench, and I would pull things out, and I would tell my husband I had them, or I'd hide them in my children's drawers, closets, anywhere.
Experts say if you start noticing yourself hiding those purchases, hiding your credit card bills from your spouse or family, that's a red flag that you could have a problem.
Here are some other warning signs. Shopping as a pick-me-up when you feel depressed. Buying things you don't need, even multiples. Clothes hanging in your closet with the tags left on, or returning items you bought because you feel guilty. Not being able to pay credit card bills.
I want stuff, and I want stuff, and I want it now because I breathe air. I deserve it.
Financial expert and talk radio host Dave Ramsey has been counseling shopaholics for years.
Here's an idea. Live on less than you make. A concept Congress can't grasp.
Ramsey says advertising is a big reason Americans shop so much.
We're the most advertised and marketed to culture in the history of the world. We have more advertising images in front of our face in a single day than a family did in all of 1954, the whole year.
He says advertising combined with immaturity and easy credit create an equation for financial trouble.
You cannot buy happiness. And that's where we've gotten confused. If you eat enough lobster, it tastes like soap. You can't get enough stuff to make you happy.
Ramsey says shopaholics are looking for happiness in all the wrong places. Dana Manetos was one of them until she was able to get her spending under control. And today, she's debt-free.
And something just finally clicked that I don't want to live like this anymore. We were so far behind financially, and it was due to me. It was due just to stuff. It was due, there was nothing good, nothing real.
Come with a bag, they're for me.
But this new respect for money didn't happen overnight. This new Dana is a few years in the making.
And then all the things that I bought, they just don't even mean anything to me. They're just stuff. And the money wasted, and I think of how we could have invested it, or at the time paid off our home, doubled up on our mortgage. We could have done so much more. And it was a very expensive life lesson.
A painful life lesson that thousands of Americans are still learning every day. Kim Hessel, Fox 17 News.
Experts say realizing you have a spending problem is the first step to financial freedom. Next, pay off the credit card with the smallest balance, then move on to the next one. The key is to have a budget and stick to it.